Hey guys, Sonyx here. I hope that you're having an amazing day today. Today, I wanted to talk about loneliness and being alone and feeling lonely and all that stuff. Honestly, this video doesn't really have a script to it, and most of my videos don't, but this one I just turned the mic on and just wanted to talk about it because it's one of those days where I just feel really, really lonely. And I'm not sure why I do. Because I mean, I do talk to people, sure, but I just feel lonely still. Like, for example, I just got off playing ranked with my friends and my really close friends. And we played for like 2 hours or so and we got a win too, and it was cool, it was fun. And in real life, when I go to work, I interact with people. A lot of people actually. And when I'm at home, sure, I have family members here. But even with all that, I still feel lonely. I think it's because I haven't really been able to have a deep conversation with somebody that I actually want to, you know? Like, it doesn't happen. Everything that happens nowadays the people I talk about, it's just kind of like, it's just work life. Like, it's nothing too crazy, nothing too deep. I don't get to actually speak about how I feel. So I think that's part of the reason why I feel so alone, because I haven't been able to really talk to anybody about just the things that are going on in my life. I mean, I've tried to. Recently I made a friend and it started off really great. I started talking to them about, you know, life, and I thought it was going great, and then we just stopped talking a little bit, and I try to keep in contact with them, but then things fade, and you know, we don't know the reason why, and you don't want to be too pushy, right? So then it just kind of goes away and that loneliness starts again. So that's just the main thing, you know. Loneliness is an emotion, and that's okay. It's more so me telling myself that it's okay, because sometimes I used to think that as, you know, this is bad thing that you're not supposed to feel, you know, but it's all right. If you guys are going through loneliness too, that's okay. Because honestly, like, it's normal, you know, it's human. But I'm not sure. You know, I've always had, since high school, I've always been in a relationship since high school. Actually, since the ninth grade, yeah, since the very beginning. I had like a little 3-month-long relationship that lasted a while. It was really short-lived, so it was one of those high school things. But towards my senior year, I had a 3-year-long relationship that went from high school all the way to college, and that was pretty great too. I would talk to her about pretty much everything that I could think about, and you would talk to, you know, when you talk to someone at some point, you almost run out of things to talk about, right? And I don't know, I just miss that feeling that you get when you've kind of talked about it all and you just find more things to talk about. Right now, like, I'm at a place where I have so much to talk about, but I can't talk to anyone about it. I know, like, can't share it with a partner, can't share it with a close friend, just because everyone's kind of living in their own little world and no one really wants to listen for most of the time, you know, because everyone's busy, and that's okay. And it's something I've just learned to live with. And then so after that relationship, I met, after that relationship ended, I met someone also during college. And you might have heard this in another little episode when I was meeting your random and retirement relationships, but I met someone in college too, and this was like a 2-year-long relationship, and it's the same thing. I talked to them about everything. I talked to her about life and just you know, you could just talk about literally like space, the ocean, the financial state of the world. I just made that one up. We didn't actually talk about that, but maybe at some point, you know. But just the most random things, you know, like watching Netflix, for example. We would do that, and then, you know, the little Netflix party thing you could do. where you could watch it with somebody. Yeah, that was really fun. I'm not gonna lie, that was super fun. And then like you'd see how like, oh my gosh, such a funny scene, and you'd laugh together. You know, we used to call it eating and watching a show. Yeah, that was the thing, and I just miss that too. So I think loneliness for me is kind of built up from all these different things that I got to do with a special person. Doesn't even really need to be a partner, just with a close friend. And I don't really have that person. And, you know, it's not like a codependency thing. It's not like that I rely on other people to feel happy. It's more so, it's just nice to feel like you belong to someone or somewhere, you know? And just not having that right now is making me feel just a little bit sad. Not a little bit, kind of a lot. And I don't know. It's kind of difficult to talk about because it's not something that I really, you know, it's an insecurity that I had for a long time, and it still is. So talking about this is pretty tough. But I think I want you to relate to me if you are feeling this way. You know, if this is something that you know that you feel lonely at times, and that's okay. If you've, for example, I always grew up kind of not allowing myself to feel these emotions because a lot of my culture is Asian culture, so we're not really allowed to, you know, technically we are, but we're not culturally allowed to feel certain things because you're not supposed to be weak, you know. You're not supposed to feel sad sometimes, you know. You just have to be strong. You're not supposed to feel, you know, hence the word depressed, you know. You want to tread lightly on that word, because if you start to feel signs or symptoms of that, then you're kind of, you know, something's wrong with you, right? So this is kind of the reason why I kind of want to break that, because I do feel lonely, I do feel sad, I do feel alone, you know, a lot of the time. So it feels weird to say because I feel wrong for saying it, but I think a lot of cultures feel this way. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the Asian culture. I feel like a lot of different cultures have this stigma that if you feel weak, if you feel like you're alone, then something is wrong with you, and that shouldn't be the case. Because now you're like doubling down on negative emotions, right? Now you feel alone, but then you feel wrong for feeling alone. So then you start judging yourself, and then now you don't really like that emotion of feeling alone. So you try to fill it with, you know, surrounding yourself with just superficial people who don't really care about you, and then bam, you feel even more lonely than you would have started, you know, in the beginning. It's kind of like someone who's going through substance abuse, right? They're going through substance abuse, so then they know it's wrong, right? So they stop doing it, and then they try to, you know, suppress, like, oh, I'm a bad person for feeling this way. So then they do something else that's even worse, and then now they go back on it, and then now they have a second thing that. So I think it's just time to just say it. Just don't be afraid. If you're alone, if you feel lonely, if you feel sad, just own up to it. It's true. I mean, sometimes that's the first step in stopping that feeling, or not stopping, because it's, you know, it's gonna happen from time to time, but, you know, learning ways to navigate it and fixing things. Okay? But yeah, this is just one of those days that, you know, when being human kind of feels, you feel the bad parts of it. Not every day is gonna feel this way, and I just hope that you know that even if you feel alone, you're not really alone. You know, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. You know, I hope someone doesn't stop by. They're like, who is this guy talking to? No, I'm talking to both of us, me and you. Some days you're gonna feel alone. That's true. On other days, you're gonna feel like you're not. But I want you to remember that it doesn't matter. It does matter what you feel, but what doesn't matter is that sometimes you don't realize that you're actually not alone. Sorry, that literally did not make any sense because my brain is not braining right now. What I'm trying to say is, you're not really alone in any of this. You'll always have people here for you. Sure, sometimes it might be the wrong group or the wrong crowd, or it might even be the wrong person that you might have invested just a little bit too much on. I do have to admit, you know, right now, I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic. I fall in love very easily. I do. But then it kind of crashes and burns because it's usually unrequited. I don't know, unrequited means like they don't really feel the same way or anything like that. So it's kind of sad because I do fall in love really easily. And then so I like want to, and it's normal, right? Exactly. It's emotions. There you go. And I was like, oh, let's go on a date. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then, or just even something like, oh, let's call or let's catch up. And it doesn't get reciprocated, and it's just sad. It's sad for me for sure, because I just kind of get like, oh damn, that one hurts just a little bit, because you just want to build something with someone, you know, whether it be friendship, partnership, it doesn't matter. And when it doesn't pan out, you just feel that dose of loneliness again. Like for example, recently, like I said, I started a new job, right? And a lot of these people in my job kind of have friends, you know, in their job. A lot of people will become friends with their coworkers, and it's cool. And when I started, like, there was groups and cliques and stuff, and they already had it, their friends, and I was really never part of it. So I tried joining, and it obviously, after their friendship for years, it's kind of weird for someone to join. So I really didn't make the cut, and I kind of feel like I'm an imposter still. You know, I'm just like, oh, I'm still the new guy, like, never gonna break in, and it's really hard to. But I think at the end of the day that I just have to continue searching, because I think loneliness is something that kind of is fixed when you find that person that you can actually talk to for hours and talk about just the most random things you could never even realize you could talk to until you talk to that person about it. So just keep looking. And sometimes it's okay to sit in the loneliness. That's all right. Right now I feel a whole lot better because I know I'm not alone when I'm talking to every single one of you. So I hope you know that you'll never ever be alone, truly. And if you continue to search, you'll find the right person that you can talk to forever. There's always going to be loneliness in some days. And at times, you're going to feel like the world is kind of against you. But that's okay. It's just being human, you know? It's one of the 100 different emotions that we feel, probably even more. And just continue to be kind to yourself, because being human is not easy. It really isn't. You're not always going to feel happy all the time, and I hope you don't, because you need those days to feel alone, so that way when you do find the right people for you, you'll realize how much of the wait that you did was worth it. And so I'm just giving you hope because I have hope for the both of us. So thank you so much for all the support. You guys have been amazing. And never forget, have an amazing rest of your day and take care.
I'm bamboo. I'm gonna hit my ult. I'm hitting my ult.
Oh no.
stick it, Sonic? I'm gonna try to send him in.
Stick me.
Stick me if you can.
No way. Stick it.
I'm down, I'm down.
Stick me if you can. Bro. Zero words for what just happened.
Dude, that'd be so cheesed.
Oh, they're probably so mad, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Man, that'd be so cheesed.
Oh my. The way that just happened. Bro, like, do you see our comms? We're just like, there was no comms endgame. We were just.
Tap you,
Tap, that's all. Only thing happening. Tap, tap, tap.
Bro, I was spamming square every time I got up. I just spammed square.
Dude, me too, man.
Just bamboozling.
Oh my god.
Trying to get shields out, reses, and
There was literally a time where all three of us were down and one was getting res. Like,
yeah,
my
it was
lifeline
multiple
res.
times.
Yeah, multiple times. I thought we lost the game, but then it was like, woo,
When Simon went for the res and I held the shield on it, bro.
barely got it, dude. He was trying to
Barely got
punch me. He lost his clip on me.